In this video, I'm going to also do a simulation of bayesact, where bayesact knows what it is but does not know what the other agent is. Except in this video, we're going to use two identities that are not usually identities that interact with each other. So these are two agents that will normally have a high deflection interaction. They will be bayesact will implement a salesman who doesn't know the identity of the person he's interacting with, and interact will implement a female robber. Okay, so we start bayesact. First of all, I've gone and changed. So first of all, I'm going to change this to be salesman. So the agent's a salesman, and the agent does not know the identity of the client. So we'll start up bayesact. And again, we'll see that it knows that it is a salesman. So this is the affective identity of salesman. And it doesn't know the affective identity of the person it's interacting with. So it has this broad distribution, and this is the mean. So the first thing it would normally do is to debate with. Okay, so in interact, we're going to set up our interactants. So we have Stan salesman is going to look like this. And Rita the robber is female 1. She's going to look like this. We have to go and define the situation. So Stan salesman is going to believe in interact that he's a salesman. So we're using interact to simulate Rita the robber. But we'll set up Stan salesman too, just for good measure. So Rita the robber is a robber. Stan salesman is a salesman. For some reason that didn't take. And for viewer Rita robber, Stan salesman's a salesman, and Rita robber is a robber. Okay, so we'll start off by defining the first event. So the first thing that Stan salesman, so this is the experiences of Rita the robber. Stan salesman, the first thing he's going to do is debate with this person that he doesn't know is a robber yet. Debate with, we'll put that in there, and then we'll go and analyze these events, and we'll start this off. So he's debating with Rita the robber, and her best action is to mouth off to Stan the salesman. He doesn't look so happy about that. She looks happy with it. Okay, so here we go in bayesact. So he will debate with, and she will take the action as a result to, what did we say? Mouth off to. So she mouths off to Stan the salesman. He immediately figures out that she's a bit more negative than he thought originally and a bit more active. So his response to this will be to chase Rita the robber. So he will chase her, and we'll go down here. He's got a chaser, which I don't see immediately in this list. So I'll go back to define events. I will find chase and put it in. There it is. So he chases her in response. We analyze these, so I've already clicked the run automatically, so we get a nice little run. And her response to this will be to shout at Stan the salesman. She's feeling quite happy about this situation. It's going her way. He's not feeling so happy about it. So she responds with shout at. He has now figured out she's minus 1.8, 0.5, 1.1. If we look down here in the affective databases, a robber female, the true affective identity is minus 2.9, 0.5, and about 0. So definitely Stan the salesman is learning that this person is quite negative and has roughly got the potency correct and is a little bit overestimating the activity. So his response to this shouting at is going to be to tackle Rita the robber. And we'll see over here his deflection minimizing actions are things that are somewhat similar to that. So we'll do define the events. We'll go down here and find tackle. Tackle, not tickle, but rather tackle. There's tackle, there it is. Okay, then we'll go and rerun all those from the start, see what we should do next. So Rita the robber will quarrel with Stan now, so quarrel with. Again, he has figured out that she's quite negative. These other numbers aren't changing a whole lot, so he's going to chase her now again. We'll go back and put that in here as chase. And run that again to see what Rita the robber should do next. She will scold him. In response, he continues to chase Rita. We'll do one more iteration and see what the probability distribution. She is going to chew him out. Now what we've got is a fundamental identity minus 2.1, 0.6, 0.8. Remember, this is the true identity of Rita the robber down here, minus 2.9, 0.5, minus 0.0. But again, recall that bayesact is maintaining a full probability distribution, and so we're now going to see what the samples that it's using to represent this probability distribution, what identities are they closest to. It's got 1,000 samples to do, so this takes a little while to look through the database for every sample. And so we'll see that the bayesact agent thinks that, so it's got 128 samples that are closest to enemy, 94 that are closest to lady killer, and 70 that are closest to robber, which is the true identity. These other identities are all going to be fairly similar to the affective identity of robber. So we see that the bayesact agent has learned roughly what the affective identity is of Rita the robber.